the case of Taylor Parker. It is a horrific story, and if you're not, if you don't want to watch sad stuff, I totally understand. Feel free to check out, and that'll be fine.
2020, 21-year-old Reagan Simmons Hancock was found brutally murdered in the small town of New Boston, Texas. But what made this case even more disturbing was the tragic fact that her unborn child had been ripped from her womb. Another baffling revelation surfaced on that very same day, leading them right to the monster who had been hiding in plain sight all along. Around 12 in the afternoon, 27-year-old Taylor Parker was pulled over by a Texas state trooper in what began as a routine traffic stop. However, the officer was shocked to find a bloodied Taylor holding who she claimed to be her newborn infant. She states that she's just given birth and needs to be taken to the McCurtain Memorial Hospital in Idabel, Oklahoma. Less than an hour away, Taylor states that she will not allow treatment for the child under any other place.
Yeah, so if you have joined since we talked about this case, it is a lot. So yeah, trigger warning for murder and terrible things.
Place of care. When she arrives at the hospital, Idabel police are quickly notified of the bizarre chain of events, and they suspect that Taylor may be attempting to hide a monumental secret.
This is a big deal.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Are you ready? I'm coming.
She can't leave. Is she trying to leave?
She's going to say she leaves. Oh, well, there's two in there. The one is ours. That's what's ours.
Okay. Do not let her out that door. So she shows no signs. You can't check for hemorrhaging. What is HCG?
It's a hormone that is secreted by the placenta only.
Okay.
And if there's a baby in there, the HCG is what the hormone that mandates going and getting the nutrients and bringing it to baby.
Okay.
So it's in mama's blood, mama's urine, mama's everything.
Okay.
And it stays up for 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, so HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, this is a hormone that is primarily created by the placenta, or like what eventually becomes a placenta if it's really early in pregnancy. And yeah, that what this emergency medicine doctor said is accurate. I'm sorry, I'm still distracted.
All right.
It's taken off. You don't want no part.
Huh?
You don't want no part of this. He took off. He's the OBGYN. Yeah, I was going to get called up for resuscitating the baby.
What did we step into?
Oh.
Someone asked about HPV vaccine. I have a 3-video series on YouTube about HPV vaccine. I bet it will answer your question.
It's interesting. So
Kidnapping almost.
I think it's going to be that.
Yeah, because we've had Lamar County called here too. Lamar County, I talked to Texarkana, and then Bowie County.
So when I'm talking, they're talking. I don't understand. They've never done this before. Why are they keeping me? I'm like, it's like, hey, I'm just the ER doc here. I said, I don't know why you're not up and
Okay.
this week.
Yeah, I can't, like, I'm having trouble, like, even imagining what I would be, like, thinking or feeling or doing in this scenario if this was happening in my hospital. Like, and this looks like a fairly tiny hospital where this would, I mean, this would be wild anywhere, don't get me wrong, but like, oh gosh, man.
She's in there. She refuses to have a vaginal check to make sure she's not hemorrhaging. They've done an ultrasound and HCG, and it doesn't show that she's been pregnant. Okay. They have the placenta.
Where's she?
She is in the room. She is no.
Authorities make their way to Taylor's room, where an unbelievable truth is about to be revealed.
Hey, okay. Thank God. She's on the phone now with her boyfriend, so I'll try to sidetrack her a little bit. He's an hour away.
Okay.
I can sit with her.
Well, whichever wants to do.
Just talk with the ER doctor. They took blood work, HCG levels, which is a hormone. It's not showing she was pregnant.
She's She's had a hysterectomy. Is that what they just said? Did they just say she's had a hysterectomy?
It's not showing she was pregnant.
Yeah, she's had a hysterectomy.
She said it was rigged.
And they're saying that the placenta, they can send the
Okay, I am making my baby registry risk list. As of today, at OB appointment, I was informed there will be no way for me to have Clancy vaginal like original planned. Clancy, okay. I have too many health risks, so we will be having C-section. My last 2 were natural babies, but this is new to me. Can any C-section moms lend advice on what I need, what helped you along, or what you didn't have that you wish you would have? Okay. Obviously, this is a, I mean, anytime you have something like this, it is, right? But this is obviously sad on so many levels, because clearly this is a situation of somebody who was in dire need of mental health help and unable to access that, with nobody around them that recognized that it was needed so direly, or was unable to get the help that they needed if they did realize. Who knows? So this is always difficult to talk about, and I want to make sure that we know, if I talk about things that might lead people to do things like this, it's never to explain or excuse their actions. It's more from a standpoint of, we need to be able to talk about the things that lead up to actions that are inexcusably and horrifically awful, in order to be able to recognize those symptoms and where they start and how they escalate, so that we can intervene sooner. And I think it's really important to understand that, because I see a lot of times people get attacked online, not necessarily doctors or, when I'm talking about this stuff, but even just people in the comments of videos like this, where, someone will say like, oh, well, she had a lot of mental health issues. Like, yeah, obviously. And people will be angry underneath, like, lots of people have mental health issues and don't like murder someone and steal their baby out of their uterus, right? Like, yeah, yes, we know, but you still have to be able to discuss what leads up to it. So it's kind of like, all squares are rectangle, but all rectangles are not a square, right? So all mental health problems not lead people to do this, but sometimes mental health issues do end up like this, and we don't have to, you can talk about it and not imply that everybody with a mental health condition is going to end up doing horrific things.
and sent to offer test, and whether it comes back to her or not. She won't let her do a vaginal exam to make sure she's not hemorrhaging. She won't let her.
Like, it's weird, like, I know they're just trying to convince her to do an exam to prove that what they already know, but like, she's not hemorrhaging. She's like, no, I'm not hemorrhaging. See?
Hey there. What's your name?
Taylor Parker.
Oh my gosh. How does this get publicly released? This feels like my eyes should not be watching this.
Taylor, hey, my name's Chad Stansby. I'm a OSBI agent up here, and I heard you brought your baby in. Did you give birth on the side of the road or something?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Where was that here? In McCurtain County?
No, it was in DeKalb.
DeKalb down in Texas?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So what happened this morning? Did you just go into labor on the side of the road or something?
No, man, I was supposed to
I'm going to speed it up just a little. Y'all let me know if it's too much.
ride with my fiance, and we sell, we own a whole buying facility, and we were gonna come through here, but I was having contractions and stuff and wasn't feeling good, so I stayed at home and told him we would just meet here after he dropped the hogs at 7, and he got tied up. I mean, he's on his way.
Okay. All right. Now how did you get here? Did you drive yourself?
No, an ambulance
ambulance
brought
brought
me.
you?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like that.
Oh, okay.
Taylor states that her fiancé, Wade Griffin, will arrive shortly at the hospital.
Wow. Huh. So could be just faking it, knowing she's faking it, right? So that could be what's happening in this photo. Or could be pseudocyesis, which is a person who has a mental condition where they genuinely think they are pregnant when they are not.
The nurses said that you weren't going to let the doctor check you to make sure you weren't hemorrhaging or anything.
I did an ultrasound.
The hemorrhaging is the bleeding. Whether you're passing clots or not passing clots, it's really good to have you checked for that, because I know I was passing massive clots and they were about to start giving me blood. That's why they're wanting to check out, any damage.
The doctors and nurses are just really shitty liars. Like, this person is like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
And check to make sure you're not bleeding inside internally. That's why they're wanting to make sure.
That's okay, that's fine. I didn't know it was a big deal not to want the guy to do that.
No, I mean, if you don't want to, that's up to you, but that's why they're wanting to check, just to make sure.
Make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, you've got blood all over you and all over your fingernails, and I mean, that's a pretty intense thing. Yeah.
It's scary. You want to make sure you're okay.
Although Taylor is covered in blood, some of it may not be her own.
There's something wrong for them bringing me over here?
What did you have? Did you have a boy or a girl?
A girl?
A girl. Okay.
Do you have a name?
Clancy Gale.
Clancy Gale.
That's a nice name.
It is a nice name.
You have any other children?
I have 2.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Obviously, if anybody's going to be sympathetic to the nurses and doctors, it's me. I know they're doing the best they can, but...
Emerson's 10 and Trey's 6.
Here's the deal. I'm just going to be up front. I've been talking to the DA down in Bowie County, and they've been working on a case down there. And we know that you had a hysterectomy some time back, and that you claimed to be pregnant for a while, but that you really weren't. So trying to figure out where this baby came from. But you didn't give birth this morning.
What do you mean?
So I just said you didn't give birth this morning. And we want to know where this baby came from. So what happened?
I just told y'all what happened.
Okay. What's the doctor going to find when he comes in and checks you? Is he going to find you just gave birth? They can tell. When he looks, he can tell in about a second if you gave birth or not.
Okay.
Taylor states that the doctor will be able to confirm her pregnancy claim, but the truth can only remain hidden for so long.
Taylor, you found a woman this morning on the side of the road, and her baby has been removed from her body. And then you show up with the baby. And the information is you've had a hysterectomy. There's no way you could have been pregnant. Even though you've been telling people for a while you've been pregnant. There's no way you could have been pregnant. And
I didn't hurt anybody on the side of the road.
Just for a learning point to break up this horror, you can technically get pregnant after a hysterectomy. It's just very rare. I've got a few case reports that I'll talk about at some point of people who've been pregnant after a hysterectomy. So there you go. That will be your horror story for the day. Obviously pales in comparison to the horror story we're listening to. I think this was in the last 3 years, Maria, that this happened.
well, I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying that there's a woman that had her baby removed from her body. Her body's found on the side of the road. I didn't say you did. I just want to know what happened, where this baby came from.
Taylor goes silent.
Who was the lady? Do you know who she is?
I don't know what lady you're talking about.
Okay.
A few moments later, the doctor conducts a physical examination. The results prove that Taylor is, in fact, being deceitful.
So, it surely doesn't look like a baby came out of there. It doesn't look like she had a baby.
It doesn't?
No.
Okay.
Does not look like she had a baby there.
Wait, the video sound's not working? Oh. Okay, you can definitely gaslight me into thinking that. Come on.
Although the authorities anticipated the doctor's findings, they're shocked nonetheless, and they've only scratched the surface, considering the other revelations that will soon come.
Essentially what we have is we have a dead woman out of Texas, and you took the baby out of her, which caused her to die.
Yes, ma'am. Gave me 2 IV doses of blood thinner. Go back tomorrow for a second scan to see if what's left of the clot is breaking up. Health nurse going to monitor me. I'm good. This is the post that they made when this happened, I guess.
And my question is Taylor a cold-blooded murderer? Or is it something else? I mean, sometimes people have, they go through depression and, some mental issues and things. Causes good people to make bad choices, right? And that's kind of where I'm here at today. I knew that doctor wasn't going to find anything. So I already know a lot of things I ask, I already know the answer to before I ask. I tell you, most of the people are going to assume the worst. They're going to assume you're an evil person and that you just butchered this lady and left her to rot on the side of the road so you steal her baby. I don't think that was the case. I mean, you don't seem like that type of person. Man.
I didn't kill anybody.
Where'd this baby come from? We're past all of that. Taylor, we're past that.
I did not kill anybody. I didn't kill anybody.
So was she alive when you left?
I wasn't with her.
Taylor sticks to her story, still claiming that the child is hers.
Right now, the DA down there who I've talked to believes that you're a cold-blooded killer and that you plotted for the last 8 months to murder this woman and steal her baby. And right now, the evidence is there. They can prove it without a shadow of a doubt that that's what happened. They can prove that you murdered that woman. I mean, it's some woman, everybody's happy, they're having showers, and then somebody comes along and cuts her damn baby out of her gut. That's what we got right now, and that's what you need to understand. That's the point where we're at. We're past all this nonsense about, I wasn't there, I didn't kill nobody. We're past all of that. We know it. We know you did it. There's no doubt whatsoever. You didn't hurt her. Are you sad she's dead? Is it the deal you just wanted a baby so bad that it just kind of overpowered your brain and everything?
My head's been hurting.
Your head's been hurting?
I had a stroke in 2015.
According to Reagan's husband, Homer Hancock, Taylor had taken the couple's engagement and wedding photos, but she and Reagan didn't share a close relationship. However, Taylor claims that the 21-year-old mother told her to come over that day to apparently use her shower, since Taylor's water was supposedly off.
So what happened? You go over to her house and what happened there?
I remember pulling up.
Did she say something to you to make you mad or something? Or what happened?
She grabbed a hold of me and told me that I was a liar.
Did you try to fight back?
All right, a few questions to cover in the chat. So, officer did well. Yeah, not sure I would do that well. Questioning, that sounds tough. Episode of Private Practice. Yep, that was awful. I also remember that episode. Wouldn't a DNA test confirm that she's not the mother? Yeah, for sure it would. That is not going to come back for weeks, if not longer. So you, obviously, they're doing this for the criminal case that will inevitably come from this. When the mom was... Yeah, it's really awful. Okay, we'll get back to it.
We fought back.
You both fought back.
We both hit each other. And she hit her head off the table.
She did it on the table. Okay. That's okay. Hey, that stuff happens sometimes, you know?
I didn't move her.
You didn't move her. Okay. So she was still in her house? Okay. When she hit her head, did you think she died? Did you just try to save the baby?
Yeah. And I really wanted the baby.
I understand that. That's okay. Well, that shows what a good person you are. So you tried to save the baby so that you I guess you got the baby out of it. You left C-section on it. You don't remember. So how did you go from her laying there with her head hit to you having the baby in your hand?
Just remember trying to save the baby.
He's putting words into her mouth, Maria. I think sometimes they will use this as a tactic to, they're already fairly certain that this person is guilty, not without a trial, obviously, but it's fairly cut and dry. The way that he's phrasing that is intentionally minimizing what the reasoning behind the crime was, because sometimes people will hear that and then latch on to, oh yeah, actually, I was doing that. It's a tactic to get them to talk about what they did. Though I don't know if she's been read her Miranda rights. I would be interested to know if this was in the actual evidence at the trial.
Taylor is asked if anyone else was present at the home during this time, to which she states that it was just she and Reagan. However, this would be blatantly untrue, as Reagan's 3-year-old daughter was inside of the house when her mother's life was tragically taken away.
Did you take anything over there with you? I mean, some people are very nice, especially up here, but did you have a knife or a razor blade or anything like that?
There's a knife in my purse.
In actuality, Taylor had 3 knives in her possession, all of which were found in her purse.
Were you inside her house or outside her house?
We started outside, then we were inside.
Fighting? Arguing?
Yeah, I guess, but they can't question her, I don't think, without, you can't, they have to have read their rights to be able to admit, for this to be admissible in court, I would think. Are shoe covers not mandatory inside the hospital room for outsiders? Not usually, unless it's an operating room. So the mother was murdered. What about the 3-year-old? I don't think that she hurt the 3-year-old, but yeah, I apparently just left the 3-year-old by itself with its dead or dying mother.
Okay. And what were you inside the house or outside the house when you actually when it turned physical? She hit you or you hit her?
She hit me outside.
She hit you outside. Okay. Did she run back into the house or something? Did you go in after her or what happened then? She hits you outside and what happened?
I hit her. And she started holding my hair and shoved me in the garage. Because I remember her hollering, Jennifer.
Who's Jennifer?
I don't know, that's just the name she was hollering.
Now what's her name again? The lady you went over to see?
Taylor cannot seem to answer the question and quickly changes the subject.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, on the side of the road. I don't know.
Deed.
We'll go look and see what the actual facts of the case are in a minute.
I don't know what happened. That's okay. That's why hey, listen, Taylor. If I believe that, I wouldn't be spending time talking to you. Oh, shit. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it, right? Why did this happen, right? So, why did she call you a liar? What was that about?
The baby.
Her baby? What about it? Why would she call you a liar about the baby?
Once again, Taylor can't remember, but goes on to state that Reagan had stabbed her in the hand with a knife.
Right there, she got me a tip of it right there.
Okay.
I just remember
I think the baby did survive, and I also don't know that I think she's completely acting. I think that there is some serious level of psychosis happening here, but I could be wrong.
But she had a knife, though. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know why she grabbed it. I don't know why I would ever hurt her. But it's not. Because I've never hurt anybody.
I can believe that.
I don't have a record.
I can believe that. She apparently picks up something, hit you with something heavy. You're not sure what it was. And then there was blood. Did you stick her with the knife? Or
No, she fell with the knife because I shoved her.
Okay, so she get the knife back from you?
We both had it in our hands a few times.
Oh, okay, I'm just trying to get it out of my head, you know what I mean? So.
She told me that I was gonna rot and that she'd kill me if I touched her again.
And she's got the knife. Did she fall on the knife? Is that what you believe, or is that what you know, or you don't know?
She had to because I didn't.
You didn't stab her?
I didn't stab her.
Okay, that's fine. So afterwards, did it look like she didn't like the knife?
She grabbed something and started smacking herself with it and told me that they would believe I did it.
Oh, okay, so she started hitting herself with something.
In Reagan's last moments, Taylor asserts Reagan stated that she was dying and wanted Taylor to take her baby.
Do you remember cutting it open to get the baby out? Did you have much trouble getting it up, cutting it open? You did? Okay. So you take the baby out of her stomach. Is that right?
It fell out like she was pushing, and it didn't come out.
Come out of her vagina?
No.
Or out of her stomach? Okay.
She was still in the sack.
Oh, okay. All right. So it comes out of her stomach and it's still in the sack. Did you have to pull the sack apart to get the baby out?
Yeah, and I pulled it open and turned her over and started smacking her back.
Wade said that you've been telling him you were pregnant for a while, for the last 8 months.
I'm glad you're willing to make something for us, Sierra. Everyone else thinks we're faking a whole damn pregnancy with the little one that's not even here yet. Some people once called friends are going to look so stupid in the weeks to come. Oof. I wonder if he was in on this or just completely blindsided. Ugh. Either way, I don't know what's better. The baby was 35 weeks.
Why did you tell Wade you were pregnant? Just you wishful thinking, and you really just want to be pregnant that bad? Or what was the deal there? You feel movement? Made you think you were pregnant?
Something's wrong with me.
In another shocking turn of events, authorities have learned that Taylor was faking her pregnancy for the last 8 months, even going so far as to fake ultrasounds and throwing a gender... Last 8 months, even going so...
Our sweet girl is measuring 2 pounds and 2 ounces. She's definitely handling everything like a champ. Wow, this goes a deep level of deception happening here.
So far as the fake ultrasounds and throwing a gender reveal party, but there was still more to uncover in this gruesome investigation.
I don't know why I did it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Because I've never been a bad person.
I don't think you are.
Inevitably, Taylor is placed under arrest and taken to the Idabel City Jail. Sadly, Reagan's baby, Braxlyn Sage Hancock, did not survive. Though Taylor made it seem like...
I thought the baby lived. Oh no. Oh God. I didn't know that the baby died too.
Her victim's death was somewhat of an accident. A startling piece of information indicates otherwise. On the day of the murder, she researched a video of a physical exam showing a preterm infant at 35 weeks gestation being delivered. Reagan was 34 weeks pregnant. When authorities recovered her body, it was clear that she'd been severely beaten and had suffered hundreds of slashing wounds. In November of 2022, Taylor was convicted of capital murder and kidnapping and was sentenced to death. She is now the 7th woman currently on death row in Texas.
There has been a recent discovery in the...
Okay, that was a lot. Sorry for subjecting you to that. I knew it was going to be a lot, but man. So let's talk about how things like this happen. Yeah, obviously there are many ways that this happened. I am 100% certain that in the process of that court case, they would have had a mental health evaluation, and she must have been deemed both competent to stand trial, and they must have decided by the evidence presented in the case that this was a premeditated murder. For her to get the death penalty in Texas, I think it has to be first-degree murder. Why at 34 or 35 weeks, when most deliveries would result in a baby that could survive, would this baby not have? There's a lot of things that could go into that. I don't know the details of this case, and I don't honestly want to know any more than I know already, but it could be that the mother was already not alive or heavily bleeding prior to trying to get the baby out, and that would reduce blood flow to the baby. Baby would be born already compromised. The other thing could be that it just took her a really long time to get the baby out, leading to it being born compromised. She obviously didn't have a clue what she was doing, and she could have injured the baby in the process of that easily. Even the most skilled of obstetricians will have an injury to a baby happen at some point. It's not an easy surgery as much as we do it all the time and make it look like it is. If or when the baby was fed, yeah, I don't think it would have been long enough for that to matter, because the breast milk and feeding the baby, I don't think it was a long time between when she committed this and they found her. Babies who are born premature have a tendency to have trouble regulating their temperature. So the baby could have gotten hypothermic or low body temperature, which led to having a lower chance of surviving. The babies who are born premature tend to have more trouble with respiratory support. So it could have been a respiratory issue. So it's, hard to say. I'm sure the details are in the court case details, but I'm not sure that I want to go looking for that. If the baby was dead when she got it out, why'd she call an ambulance? I don't think, based on what I read and what they said in that video, that it was not alive when she got it out. How long can a baby survive inside if the mother is no longer living? So we generally think that you have about 5 minutes from cessation of cardiac activity to no longer having hope of delivering a intact and surviving baby. Is there a psychological reason for temperature dysregulation challenges? How long does that typically last? Psychological. I don't know if there's a psychological reason, but you just physiological. Yeah. So you're coming out of a very warm environment and you're wet, right? So you come out of a warm environment, you're wet, that starts evaporating off of you. Keeping your core body temp warm is more difficult for babies because they don't have a fully developed thermoregulatory system where your body senses changes in the temperature and adjusts what your body is doing for that, because they've not had to have any of that on the inside. So that neural system is still developing over time. Yes, a very small window for getting a baby out after cardiac arrest and having it survive. Chest compressions can increase the time frame, but you still see a drastic drop off at 5 minutes of the chances of both survival and what we call intact survival, meaning without serious neurodevelopmental issues that come along with having been extremely hypoxic. But yeah, if we're doing compressions, we'll still try to get the baby out. I answered that question kind of in a, if this was happening kind of out in the field and there was nobody who could get the baby out, then would it prolong the chances? But yeah, if we're in a place where we can do a perimortem C-section, I would do that immediately. If there was no cardiac activity, you just get the baby out. That also helps survival for the person in cardiac arrest because you reduce the need for blood to go to the uterus. If she had mental illness, would she have gotten the death penalty? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just don't think there's any way you don't have mental illness with that. Now, they must have decided she had the faculties to decide what was right and wrong. And in that case, that she's liable for the seemingly first-degree homicide she committed.